Hey, welcome back to ScreenCrush. I'm Colton Ogburn, and this is everything you need to know before watching Jurassic World Rebirth. So the story all began when Dr. John Hammond and Benjamin Lockwood began mixing fossilized dinosaur DNA taken from mosquitoes trapped in amber with living reptiles to create a theme park of de-extinctified dinosaurs.
Dino DNA.
All on a tropical island off the coast of Costa Rica called Isla Nublar. And guys, to celebrate our love for the entire Jurassic Park series, we designed these shirts for you at our merch store. We have a mosquito in amber, Life Finds a Way, the Clever Girl available in men's and women's sizes to make sure you get a great fit, and the Isla Nublar Fun Run shirt. Shopping our merch store is a huge and great way to support our channel, and we love designing these shirts for you guys. Links are in the description below. So they founded International Genetics Incorporated, or INGEN for short, with the help of some investors. However, those investors got spooked after a velociraptor took out one of its handlers. This causes them to hire a lawyer and demand a safety certification, and they send in a crew to obtain it. A crew including paleontologist Alan Grant, paleobotanist Ellie Sattler, and Ian Malcolm, a mathematician from Austin, who is also an expert in chaos theory and being a thirst trap.
Wait, so what's a chaos theory?
That's your question, not thirst trap? Okay, chaos theory is a fancy term for the butterfly effect. It's the idea that even small changes in something can lead to big, unpredictable results, like how the flap of a butterfly's wing could cause storms in a distant country. Even when things appear random, there might be a pattern that we just can't see right away, which is why Ian takes such big issue with the doctors altering the course of nature. Of course, others want to cash in on the dinos too, and this leads to the park's disgruntled computer programmer Dennis Nedry to cash in on a massive payout from INGEN's corporate rival, Biosyn, to snag some frozen dino embryos and smuggle them out in a fancy Barbasol can. So he disables the security system during a storm, which the iconic T-Rex takes advantage of and is let loose from the park. And to make things worse, Nedry is the only one who has the code to reactivate it, but he is taken out by a Dilophosaurus. This incident lets the T-Rex loose among the park, who manages to take out 4 others before the rest of the inhabitants are able to escape. After escaping waves of raptors and other carnivores, they manage to make it out alive. Needless to say, the park did not pass the safety inspection and investors' confidence was shaken. Now, while they leave the park abandoned, Hammond continues running INGEN for the next 4 years until we hit the second movie in the timeline, Jurassic Park: The Lost World. After a young girl is attacked by a group of tiny dinosaur raptors, John Hammond's nephew, Peter Ludlow, uses the opportunity to oust his uncle and gain control of INGEN for himself. And this dude is as cliche as capitalist bad guys get, seeing the dinosaurs as nothing more than property and corporate assets. Now, it turns out that this young girl was attacked on Isla Sorna, which is the site of the original dinosaur cloning facility that was abandoned during a hurricane several years earlier. Ludlow sees nothing but dollar signs when he learns that some of the specimens are still alive and living on the island. Seeing history potentially repeat itself, Hammond asks his good buddy Ian to go to the island with Ludlow's crew and document the creatures in their natural habitat, and he agrees. He joins up with a new crew, and after some terrifying close calls with some velociraptors and playing babysitter for a T-Rex, Ian and the crew learn of Ludlow's plan to ship the dinosaurs to a zoo in San Diego. Despite their best efforts to stop him, INGEN manages to ship a T-Rex straight into the streets of the city after its boat crashes upon landing. After causing massive chaos throughout the city, they tranquilize it and they send it back to Isla Sorna, which is officially declared a nature preserve. This takes us into Jurassic Park 3, which takes place 8 years after the original. This is where things get weird. After Hammond dies of old age and Ludlow has long become a dino dinner, INGEN is purchased by Simon Masrani. Now, as this new company is still figuring out what to do with the new acquisition, our good friend Alan Grant is looking to secure funding for his velociraptor research, which has been his latest obsession. This is when a wealthy couple agrees to give him the money for his research if he gives him a guided tour of the island in return. Alan agrees, thinking that it's just another fan trying to get a closer look, but things quickly change when they knock him out in the air and he wakes up on the ground. When he wakes up, he discovers that the couple is actually there to find their son Eric, who went missing while illegally parasailing over the island. So now Alan is forced to babysit these yuppies as they are attacked by entirely new threats, even bigger than the ones before, including the flying pteranodon. and the terrifying Spinosaurus. The Spinosaurus being the only thing in the park that puts the T-Rex to shame. Now, after multiple nail-biting escapes and Alan learning how to speak Velociraptor, they find the boy Eric and use a satellite phone to call in the National Guard, who come to their rescue. Which brings us to the end of the Jurassic Park trilogy.
Wait, I thought you said there were 6 movies.
There are, but the other 3 are technically part of a new trilogy, the Jurassic World trilogy, which pick up 22 years later after Marzani has finally brought Hammond's original vision to life and created an actual theme park on the island, because clearly they haven't learned anything from that first time around. Now, alongside Dr. Wu, they have moved all the specimens from Isla Sora to the original facility on Isla Nublar. They've also gone above and beyond creating a theme park full of dinosaurs and have started experimenting with creating new hybrid dinosaurs to spice things up for the jaded crowds. This leads to the creation of the Indominus Rex, a genetically modified dinosaur with aspects of some of the deadliest dinosaurs as well as genes from other animals to create the ultimate predator. This means that it is not only hyper intelligent, but it also has unique genetic traits that other dinosaurs lack. Now, while park director Claire is under the assumption that these genetic modifications are simply to keep things interesting for the visitors, behind the scenes Marzani is actually trying to weaponize them for the US military. Now, of course, all of this backfires when the creatures escape using its heightened intelligence and camouflaging abilities. Marzani's reluctance to kill the creature that he spent so much money on racks up a lot of casualties as it rampages through the park. Now, in the chaos, the Indominus Rex breaks into the aviary home to the island's flying dinosaurs who terrorize the civilians. But not enough for Jimmy Buffett to lose one of his margaritas. Now, this forces them to send out Owen Grady, a raptor trainer, along with a team of militarized raptors to hunt down the Indominus Rex, but the raptors immediately turn on the humans after accepting the Indominus Rex as their new alpha due to its raptor DNA. Eventually, Owen gets the raptors back on his side through his power of friendship plot armor. After Claire baits the Indominus into a fight with a T-Rex and a tag team of raptors, it is finally taken down after being snagged from the water by the massive Mousosaurus. Now, that said, the damage is clearly done. Just like Isla Nublar, after this first movie, the park was deemed unsafe, and after massive lawsuits, the business was driven into the ground. And things get even worse as we head into Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. The park has become abandoned, and now an active volcano on the island threatens to re-extinct the surviving dinos. This sends Claire Owen and the gang on a quest from Benjamin Lockwood himself to relocate as many of the dinosaurs as possible before this volcano erupts. Now, when they arrive, they are able to get the trackers back online, and Owen even reunites with his favorite raptor, Blue. But after he attacks one of the escorting soldiers, Blue gets tranked alongside Owen. Now, Owen and the rest of the crew are barely able to get off the island before it goes up in flames on board the mercenaries' cargo ship, which is when they figure out that the dinosaurs aren't actually being relocated to a separate island, but rather to Lockwood's estate. This entire scheme is being orchestrated by Eli Mills, who manages the Lockwood fortune. He plans to sell these now super rare dinos on the black market, including the Indoraptor, which is yet another terrifying hybrid dino. Essentially, it's the Indominus Rex, but now with 20% more raptor DNA, making it a bit smaller, but much smarter and way easier to train.
What a twist!
So the truth is then revealed to Lockwood, and we end up learning that his falling out with Hammond was due to the fact that Lockwood cloned his late daughter, who learns all of this just before Eli takes him out. Eventually, all hell breaks loose, as it tends to do, and at the auction, as the dinosaurs escape and the Indoraptors let loose, the day, however, is saved after a quick move by Blue. With the biggest threat out of the way, the crew is then faced with a choice, as the remaining dinosaurs are trapped with a life-threatening gas leak. This is when Maisie steps up and saves the rest of the dinosaurs, because she realizes that they are no different than her. Now, this means that the dinosaurs are no longer isolated to their islands, and they can live alongside the rest of humanity. And this takes us to the 6th and final film in the franchise, Jurassic World Dominion, which takes place 4 years after the dinosaurs got out, and now that they are no longer exclusive assets of InGen or Maserati, one of their oldest competitors comes back into play: Biosyn. They have established a dinosaur preserve in Italy where they claim to be conducting research, but things get weird when massive swarms of locusts start popping up around the world, frequently enough to threaten the global food supply. Things get even more suspicious when our old friends Alan and Ellie discover that not only are these locusts genetically engineered prehistoric locusts, but they are also genetically modified not to eat Biosyn crops. Now, at the same time, Maisie is kidnapped alongside Blue's new offspring Beta, which causes Maisie's new adopted parents, Owen and Claire, to chase after her. Turns out, Maisie and Blue's DNA has a lot of value and has the potential to end incurable diseases. Ellie and Alan rescue Maisie from Biosyn's lab, but Owen and Claire's plane is attacked, causing a massive detour when the group is forced to survive various dangerous dino encounters until they finally rendezvous, only to run into the final boss, the Gigantosaurus.
Oh, that can't be a real name.
Nope, it is real, not even a hybrid. It is essentially a larger version of a T-Rex, which lived in modern-day Argentina. They are able to fight this massive thing off, which really puts Dojson in a corner. He plans to hit the reset button and snags the Barbasol can Dennis stole all those years ago so he can start over. But he is taken out by a group of those little raptors just like his buddy Nedry. With this evil CEO dead, the rest of the gang are able to escape with Maisie and Blue until their fight is interrupted by Gigantosaurus once again.
I thought he was dead.
Plot armor, Doug, plot armor. However, it is not quite thick enough as he is quickly put down by a T-Rex with an assist from the long-clawed Thrizinosaurus. And this gives us our happy ending as Alan and Ellie rekindle their romantic relationship while Maisie, Claire, and Owen live on together as a happy family. Dr. Wu essentially releases a plague amongst the locusts themselves, gradually eradicating the swarms as dinosaurs and humans adapt to a new coexistence. The final act shows the United Nations declaring Biosyn Valley an international dinosaur sanctuary, but that doesn't seem to be where we are headed in Jurassic World Rebirth. But hey, that is everything you need to know before going into Jurassic World Rebirth. Let us know if we missed anything down in the comments below, and if you're new here, be sure to subscribe, smash that bell for alerts. For ScreenCrush, I'm Colton Ogburn.